Maybe this summer. I don't know. I was so underwhelmed that, y'all, I came home, did not pick up my camera.
We conducted a series of painful experimental surgeries on a slave black woman.
Girl, so you know I'm in my back to the basics era with fibroids. So today we're going to this event that I found on TikTok in hopes to learn a little bit more on how to stabilize and or decrease my uterine fibroids. I made it to the spot. I'm about to walk in. I'm in a era of going back to the basics. I started a series making sure that in every area of my life, I'm doing things that are going to stabilize and, most importantly, decrease the size of my uterine fibroids. We're about to go check it out and see what they're about. Lego. Myself together. Hey girl, if you're new here, my name is Dose of Tempest. Thank you so much for checking out my video. If you do not know, I'm a lifestyle creator, and one of the things that I talk about a lot is uterine fibroids. Girl, I just walked from the car like 2 seconds. That made no sense.
Look, I just bought this setting spray yesterday. I said, you going to work today?
Girl, I put the setting spray on, but they ain't do nothing. Okay, so what do you need from me?
I just need to check you in.
Okay.
Oh, that's a nice name.
Thank you. Thank you. Y'all, why am I this hot? I literally walked from the car. It took me less than a minute to walk to the car to the front door. But I also have on jeans, and typically I do not. I just assumed there's gonna be like cold in here. I did straighten my hair, but that like puffed up as soon as I walked outside, so I put it in a ponytail while I was driving, or at least at a stop sign. Anyway, I'm gonna cool down and I'm gonna come back to y'all when it starts.
So now we're going to have our icebreaker.
I'm going to challenge 2 people just to see if you guys are going to co-act. I'm going to ask someone to tell me the name of their neighbor. I'm on here and answer questions.
How are you doing?
Good.
Thank you so much for being here. Seriously, I'm so happy that you guys are here. This is the Women Wellness Workshop. What every woman needs to know about her hormones. And honestly, this is information that I wish that I had, and I didn't really get this information until I became a practitioner. And I really feel like every single woman should have a deep understanding about their hormones. And I really hope that you leave here and you feel like you understand, if you have a hormonal condition, that you feel like you understand better why. And if you don't have a hormonal condition, that you just understand your body better. For those of y'all that don't know me, my name is Asosa Edosimwan. I am Nigerian American, first generation born in the United States. Basically, I took a class with this wonderful black couple in Harlem who taught about raw foods. I went raw vegan. 30 days later, my skin was like this, basically like how it is now. And that was one of my first encounters with like myself feeling the difference, right? Seeing what happens to my skin when I change my diet. So I've been slanging healthy living and green juice for a really long time. It's almost 16 years now. Before I was a nutritionist, I was a health blogger. I believe in bio-individuality. Every diet has to be individualized for each person. These women, especially all of them were black women. I was like, why are all of these women telling me the same story? And I was very deeply disturbed by it. And I was like, I'm about to figure out how to resolve this issue because this is crazy. Like, how can all of us be at the prime of our fertility journey and be struggling with these things, right? Basically made it my mission to figure it out. Well, they're saying that it's not possible to address these things holistically, but I'm seeing that it's working. So I just want to do a quick roll call. I know y'all are sisters already. Y'all got to know each other a little bit. And this is a completely safe space. I just want to know if there's anyone dealing with fibroids in here. Okay. And be safe. It's very, very disturbing. It's very, very disturbing. I really believe that OBGYN, as we know it, is failing to address the hormonal health needs of women. So before I start to teach you a little bit about hormones, I want to give you a little bit of context on OBGYN, okay? Just in case you don't know. Dr. James Marion Sims, he's considered the father of modern gynecology for numerous reasons. Well, first, he developed a reliable surgical cure for this condition called vesicovaginal fistula. It's a very graphic and debilitating childbirth injury where basically there is an opening between your bladder and your vagina. Very graphic, not ideal, right? Between 1845 and 1849, he conducted a series of painful experimental surgeries on an enslaved black woman,
Of course.
in Montgomery, Alabama, in his backyard hospital, okay? And all of these procedures were performed without anesthesia. But obviously his quest for surgical glory was built on the abuse of black women's bodies. Dr. Ignaz Semmelweis, he was in Austria. He noticed that there were a lot of women that were dying 3 to 5 times more in the doctor's ward than the midwife's ward. And he was like, what's going on here? And he did an investigation and he noticed that the doctors were not washing their hands, causing infection to the women. Wow. Because once he instituted hand washing, all of those deaths started to go down. In 1930, the specialty becomes organized, and then the 1950s is basically moving us into where we are now, the modern era of reproductive medicine. Very, very instrumental in the development of the first birth control pill. Actually, in fact, she actually funded the research for the first birth control pill. So much that by the 1900s, from the 1910 all the way to 1970, there were basically laws put into place to involuntarily sterilize tens of thousands of women, disproportionately Black, Latino, Native American. It's that if you don't understand where to go for what you need, right? If you don't understand what's going to move you towards healing, and if you don't understand context, you can get got. So it's really about giving you more information so you have context for how to navigate the system, okay? Hormones are your body's messengers, okay? Just think of them as messengers. They're chemical messengers. They tell your cells what to do. All hormones fit into a specific receptor designed for it, okay? And once it docks in that receptor, it sends the message to the cell, and then the cell does what it's supposed to do. Make sense? Mm-hmm. So if you think about it like email, the glands are the senders, the hormones are the emails, the cells are the inboxes. When the messages that are being sent are clear and timely, your body runs like clockwork, you feel amazing. When the messages are delayed, missing, or too frequent, your system crashes. And that's when you get hormonal imbalance. Endocrine disruptors are the enemy, okay? Endocrine disruptors they mimic the real hormone. They block messages so they can dock on that receptor and stop the hormone from sending the message. So you know it's in our plastic water bottles, in our makeup, and all kinds of stuff, right? Let's talk about the hormonal spectrum. So this is how I see hormonal balance. And this is a very simplistic graph to try to explain it to you, right? And it doesn't include progesterone or testosterone, the other things. It's very simplistic, but let me explain it. So in the middle is balanced, okay? On the right is estrogen dominance. On the left is androgen dominance. On the right, in that group there, are all of the symptoms that you often see with estrogen dominance. So heavy bleeding, horrible cramping, PMS, fibroids, endometriosis, cysts in the breast, periods longer than 7 days, estrogen dominance. On the left, androgen dominance, excessive facial hair, PCOS, cystic acne, lack of period, male pattern baldness, horrible ovulation pain, infertility, right? Realize that birth control is actually hormonal manipulation. Okay, and a lot of women don't understand that, and so they have fibroids. They go into the doctor, and the doctor's like, take more hormones. Does it even make sense to you? Right? Now I'm showing you this, it doesn't make sense, right? Having the right coach can save you years and years of suffering because we help you get straight to the goods.
Hey guys, Editing Tempest here. Yes, I'm on video because I want to show you guys something. But as I am editing this vlog, I realized that I didn't finish it. I was so underwhelmed that y'all, I came home, did not pick up my camera for a day and a half because it was just so disappointing. My understanding or influence, I don't know what you want to call it, but the video that I saw on TikTok, the announcements, the marketing flyer and all those things, we're going to talk about how you can get rid of your hormonal issues. And the first thing they had up there was fibroids, PCOS, endometriosis. So when I actually got there and maybe about 5 minutes into her presentation, I was like, this is cool and all, but this is not really what I wanted to get. You know what I'm saying? As soon as she was done with her presentation, Because here's the part that threw everybody off, and I did not record it, is that she went into the quote unquote program. Well, if you come with us, here's a program that you would take. They don't take insurance. They are considered as functional doctors. Now, while I love, respect, and I want a functional doctor, however, just for a consultation or, a meetings per se, $2,000. If you want to start this program or something, it was $2,000 or $2,500, something like that. There was really no in between. And while she may be very great at her craft, what she does, all of that, that's not the reason why I went there. Cool, your background, cool what you're doing for other people, cool that you understand and know how OBGYN, all of that form and what they used to do and how hormones work. That's not why I'm there. You're not telling me anything new that I need to know in association with the fibroids. So that's why I was underwhelmed. However, one good thing, they gave us this quote unquote goodie bag. No, it's not branded. It's just a regular bag. So I wanted to show y'all some of the stuff that we got. Is a glass bottle. It has like the business name or something on it. It's a sticker. I either pull it off or see if it'll come off when I wash it. But you guys know, I've already talked about it before. If you have any type of hormonal issues, heck, it doesn't even matter if you're a female. You want to stay away from plastic. Like you want to, guide yourself away from plastic. So anytime that you have the opportunity that you can use glass, do so. So a bottle for drinking. Now I have already looked at all this stuff. I'm just pulling it out, trying to figure out what is what. This is a little disappointing to me because Dove, and I thought wasn't clean, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I did the wrong research. Okay, the other stuff in here, you have some eye patches. That's pretty cool. And then you have like what I consider like the meat of the packaging. You do have some moringa peels. Now, moringa helps with a lot of things to detox the body. So good. Then they gave us two of these. So 2 bottles, and it's they gave us 2 bottles and it's by a brand, 2 Moons. One is called Zest and one is Zen. So it seems as if you take one 2 weeks and then the other 2 weeks of the month. Now, I don't actually know what they do because I'm telling y'all, I took all the stuff out of the bag and then I put it right back in because after the Dove, I was like, what are we doing here? And then practically it's just like marketing cards here. That's it. That's in the bag. Now, for the event to be so low in cost, I believe it was like $25, maybe after taxes and fees, it was like $28, $29. So I guess that's decent because one of these alone could be about $20. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all already know, in the meantime, between time, please take care of yourself. And although I was underwhelmed with the information, I hope it was something here that you learned from, or was just like a reminder like, I forgot about that. I hope it helped and benefit you in some shape or form. But here we go. In the meantime, between time, please take care of yourself, girl. And I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye.
High volume.
Am I really that much?